Hello and welcome. Let's do a sun salutation today, but against the wall standing. No need to get up and down off the mat. This is great for anybody who has a hard time getting up and down off the mat with knees. You can make this as easy or as challenging as you'd like to. Let's get started. So to start, we're going to use wall space. Make sure that there's nothing that can fall down and bop you in the head. And I have my yoga mat set out. You don't need a yoga mat, but just make sure you have good grip with your feet. We're going to start by doing a little bit of a chaturanga, but standing against the wall instead of the traditional plank pose lowering down to the ground on a mat. Once we get that nailed down, then we'll add that into a sun salutation. Start by coming into mountain pose, facing the wall. Take your hands out and come to just arms width away, arms distance away, and then take one small step back, maybe the length of your feet. And from here, what we'll do is tip forward as if we're in plank pose. You're going to keep your abs and core engaged. So you're going to reach forward, palms to the wall, fingers spread really nice and wide at shoulder height or even slightly lower. So we're in a standing plank pose right here. Pull that belly button in towards your spine, and we're going to lower by bending our elbows straight down to the ground, not out sideways, but straight down. So lower your shoulders, down your spine. Inhale. As you exhale, press forward, keeping your elbows straight down, and then press back up. Relax your neck and shoulders. Full inhale, full exhale. Take another breath in. Make sure your fingers are nice and wide. On your next exhale, lower your elbows straight down and press back up. And go ahead and press away from the wall. So that's how to do a chaturanga standing up using a wall. Now let's throw that into a complete sun salutation standing. So we're still slightly further than arms width away. We'll take a big inhale, circle arms up overhead. Exhale, put a little bend in your knees and come into a forward fold. As far down as is comfortable for you. Inhale to a half lift. So nice flat back here. Let's stay here for a couple of breaths. Think about opening up across your heart and collarbones and drawing your shoulder blades down your back towards your tailbone. Your gaze is straight down at the mat in front of you. Make sure your knees aren't locked. Put a little micro bend in your knees. Exhale, put a little bit more of a bend in your knees, forward fold. And inhale, circle sweep your arms all the way around and up. Palms together back down through heart center. If at any time that bothers shoulders, you can always raise your arms up and down through heart center, and it takes some pressure off your shoulder joints. Now we're gonna do a little trust fall here and lean forward, come into that standing plank. So your feet are nice and engaged on the mat, hip width apart. Your hands are on the wall in front of you at shoulder height or slightly lower, fingers spread wide, and then lower your shoulder blades down your back. We'll take a big inhale and exhale, chaturanga. Lower your elbows down towards the floor. From here, you can stay on your heels or lift up on your toes. Press your chest away from the wall. Come into a baby back bend. Look up just a foot or two above your fingers. Don't look up too hard so that you kink your neck. Little baby back bend. Lower your heels down if that's uncomfortable for your toes. On an exhale, press back into downward facing dog. So from here, you might need to make some adjustments with your feet and your hands to where is comfortable for you. Keep your core and your abs engaged. Hug your belly button up towards your spine. This is not a free fall for your core. It's nice and engaged. Just really settle into this stretch. Notice where you feel it. Your gaze is straight down at the mat in front of you. And if you'd like to, take a couple of breaths. Alternate bending your knees, one and then the other, just like you might do in a standard downward facing dog. On your next inhale, go ahead and come back up to that plank pose. Push off the wall with your fingers. Inhale, arms back up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Put a little bend in your knees to protect your low back. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, press down through your feet to rise your hands up overhead towards the sky and back down to mountain pose. Let's do that one more time. Nice and slow and steady. It's a great full body workout in a really, really accessible way. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift, really long spine. Draw your shoulder blades down towards your tailbone. Bend your knees, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, circle sweep arms up overhead. And from here, we're going to bring our hands forward towards the wall at shoulder height. Make any adjustments for your feet that you need to. You can take your feet further back to make it more challenging, or bring your feet closer to the wall to make it a little bit easier. It's your choice. Hands are spread wide, shoulder width apart, fingers wide. Exhale, Chaturanga, meaning lower those elbows straight down towards the floor, not out to the sides. As you inhale, lift up on your toes if it's comfortable for you. Press your chest away from the wall. Look up slightly and come into that little baby standing cobra. Exhale, press your hips towards the back of the room. Lower your heels down if they were raised. And make any adjustments to hands and feet here that you need to come into a standing downward facing dog. Engage your core, pull your belly button in. Maybe alternate bending one knee and then the other if that feels good to you. And again, you might need to adjust your hands and feet here. Get into a spot that just feels just right and comfortable for you. On an inhale, bring your hips back forward. Press your hands away from the wall. Inhale, circle sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. As far as you feel comfortable doing. Inhale to a half lift, a nice long spine. Should be able to serve tea on your back. Exhale, forward fold with a little bend in your knee. Inhale, circle sweep your arms down, around and up. Palms together and down through heart center. So I hope you enjoyed that variation of a sun salutation against a wall. Try it against a kitchen counter. It's a really nice height to be able to do that with. I do this when I'm out hiking. I find a tree to use, and it's just a wonderful full body stretch. And you can do this pretty much anywhere, anytime. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Namaste.